Hi, I'm Susie. I'm a student at Mason. I study astronomy with a minor in Women and Gender Studies.
And I'm Emma. I graduated in 2016 from George Mason, and I'm a business development associate at a technology startup in DC.
My name is Asha Othman. I'm a student at George Mason University, and I'm also an emerging fellow with the Roosevelt Institute, a public policy think tank in New York City.
Bobby Loving, engineer.
Hi, my name's Andrew. I'm a student at George Mason University.
My name is Isti Yusuf and I work for the Environmental Protection Agency.
Hi, I'm Marissa Howard. I'm a senior bioengineering student at George Mason. I'm currently a researcher at the Center for Applied Proteomics and Molecular Medicine at the Prince William campus.
I am Fitz. I am also a student, a senior at George Mason University, majoring in biology with minors in music and psychology.
Kelly Plato, and I'm an oil and gas executive. The money comes from banks, and in the U.S., money comes from banks and is backed by the United States government.
Money comes from money was developed as a more concrete means to replace a bartering system that our ancestors used, and it's typically backed by some stable form of currency.
So I think that people assign value to things.
I was just thinking the ATM as a
Oh,
first.
Money comes from organized governments who print money and have monetary policy.
Money come from, in my situation, I get paid, comes from a taxpayers.
I mean, money is basically what I want to say, like an evolution from like trading in a sense. It's like more formal. So it's a kind of, we invent a currency so that you can barter in a sense, if that's a term that we can use. So you barter for certain goods, but the government places the value on like this currency.
Okay.
So.
I think that's pretty much correct. I think that like modern money is a little bit different from barter currency as we could expect, because the idea of bartering is like there is some inherent value to this thing that I'm giving to you that we can debate over, whereas now contemporary money is this has this amount of value and it's very much more concrete. But I agree kind of with the evolution of where currency and money comes from.
Yeah.
Bartering.
Bartering.
This system of trading is called bartering. Yeah, it's just bartering.
Bartering.
Clearly, this is what the hunter-gatherers used in the early times. I also watched a very cool show called Alaska Bush People, and they use bartering in Alaska, like today.
Barter.
Because you can exchange it for goods and services, and it's backed by the government.
Because society assigns it value.
Because it's backed by the faith and credit of the U.S. government and its people.
Because it gives you, it facilitates for you to acquire things that you don't make, that are that you need.
You need clothing and you want clothing, and depends on how desirable it is, you will exchange money for it.
The way that I take this question is kind of relating to like designer clothing. So sometimes you can kind of tell whether or not a piece is like quote cheaply made or quote like designer based on like the materials that are used, or like sometimes you can recognize like a certain design and say and think like, oh well, that's popular, that's like expensive, like whatever you want to say. Right. But it's also more especially talking about like designer clothes, they cost a certain way because of like the reputation of the company, not necessarily because of like what the clothing is made of or like how it's made.
Food is kind of the same thing. If you get mass-produced food, then it's gonna cost less. Whereas, if you go out to a restaurant where the food typically should be homemade or relatively fresh, then it's gonna cost a little bit more, and depending on where they get the cooking materials from too.
Money and interpersonal relationship. I guess so you can provide for somebody that might make you more interesting or attractive in an interpersonal relationship.
You can, I mean, it's also valued because all that also serves as a purpose. So you really need whatever satisfaction you're getting from those interrelationships. So some for family is support and belonging. With friends is like people like you like to spend time with because you like their company and all that stuff. So there's value attached that otherwise the trade-off is going to be like you're going to be unhappy or lonely, and we're human beings. We're supposed to be belong to somebody.
Bodies of water and money. I don't know, really probably bodies of water used in trade and exchanges of goods and services like money. I don't know.
Well, I work for EPA. Bodies of water has so the whole the environment nurtures life. So that body of water, it's there for recreation. It's beautiful. It's there for other service. Animals feed off of it, and all of these things support the whole ecosystem, including the climate. So it's very valuable.
Okay.
Legal tender is just money. It's used in place of a barter system. When was it established? I'm going to go with about 30,000 years ago.
Legal tender. To me, the first thing I think of is chicken tenders.
Fair.
Legal tender is using some type of metal or paper bills, but the value attached to it is not from what it's made of, but rather something that's held or reserved somewhere else, so like gold or silver or something else.
To encourage the free exchange of goods and services.
Because if I took things from the store, they would yell at me. So, I mean, because the store or wherever I'm buying something from tells me I have to give them money to get my whatever I want. So I follow the rules because I'm square, I guess.
I'm in business development, and we make a lot of deals in BD. We need people to pay us money.
Money, it's an efficient way of acquiring or purchasing things. So if you don't have money, then you'll go back to this bartering system, which is much more. You spend more time looking somebody who wants to trade with you.
We need money to facilitate the exchange of goods and services.
Also need money as a way to monitor the value of the things that we're using when we exchange them specifically. So that's kind of how it plays into exchanging goods and services.
Armageddon.
If you mean by not needing money, not having paper currency or coins, and I think you could do it with electronic money.
No.
Well,
In the past, maybe. Not now.
deep in the Alaskan bush, people don't need money. They still do trading, bartering, their skill.
Family, friends, health.
I mean, I think since we've been talking about money this whole time, I do have to say that financial security
Is a factor.
is a very important thing. I've been out of college for 1 year and have started paying loans and I'm taking on new rent and all of that kind of stuff. So financial security, where I have enough money every month to pay for the things I have to pay for, is very important.
I place the biggest price on my health, and then my well-being of my family, and then society in general.
Family and friends and my health and business.
Important things in my life are my family and my friends. So not really money or like tangible relationships that I have with people. But I think my ability to support those people does rely a little bit on some material things, but I think less intangible things like my family, my friends, and my religion are more